everything was just in the same place and there was no off switch. I was in a constant state of fight or flight.
If you want all these things, but you're not holding your own self accountable, it's mismatched.
Oh yeah, I'll sleep when I'm dead. I actually have less respect for the people that disregard their sleep.
It might be the thing that works for you. Everyone's different.
If you're not walking the walk, how would you ever expect those things to come to you? They're not going to.
It has the power to transform your life.
Stress can affect your health in ways, especially women, that we don't realize.
Gracie, what'd you have for breakfast today?
This morning, I'm traveling, so it looks a little bit different when I'm traveling.
Okay.
But I don't eat eggs for breakfast. And it's so funny because when I share these recipes, people are like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're having like meat for breakfast. That's so weird. But your body doesn't know the difference between like a morning and night. So good food is good food any time of day. But this morning I did a bagel with smoked salmon, cucumbers, and onions, a watermelon and pineapple, and I had a lymphatic tea.
Are you working out when you're on a trip, or do you just keep it for when you're home?
No, I'm working out. So last night I was pretty tired, but like I have to move my body just a little bit, especially because I was on a long flight. So I knew that I was going to get in an incline walk, and then I did a full body dumbbell workout, and it was like 30 minutes, but it was effective. It like put my mind in a good place, and I felt really accomplished before I went to bed. So
Brian Holiday came on the podcast and told me that he has a travel routine and an at-home routine. Do you differentiate the two, or are you more fluid when you're traveling? What's the differences?
Yeah, I'm super fluid when I'm traveling because, you know, generally if it's traveling for work, like my mind is in a very different place like yours. I'm like in the zone. So you have to condense it. Like when I'm at home, I'm unwinding and it's like I'm doing all the things. When I'm traveling, it's like you only have so much time in the morning. So it's like, what are the non-negotiables? Okay, so if I'm traveling, it's tongue scraping. I do bring my supplements. I'm taking my supplements, but I have to have a good oral care routine. And then, yeah, I love movement. I love a little bit of journaling, but again, like I'm not going to pack my journal every single time. But yeah, you have to be able to condense it, you know? So I think being consistent though is like the most important thing, because when I travel, that's when my body tends to fluctuate the most. And I think people are so concerned about packing like 20 outfits and doing all this stuff. And I'm like, if you aren't saving a little bit of room for like your snacks and your supplements, like you aren't going to feel good in the clothes anyways. So my theory is always like save that extra room for your supplements and for your snacks. Like I've got meat sticks, electrolytes, my AG1, you know, my ice roller. Like I bring all of that stuff with me.
What meat sticks are you eating?
Okay, Paleo Valley and Chomps. If you have not had a Paleo Valley meat stick.
Oh, good.
Oh my gosh. Okay, it's juicy and it's like, I don't know, it's so different than the other meat sticks because it's so much easier to digest. So I have one in my purse, but like, yeah, I'll eat that on the go. And then when I'm at home, like I said, my routine is like very much more like romantic and lengthy, and I'm doing all the things.
When I'm at home in Austin, go pull the Cinderella clip of her fluffing her pillow with the birds, putting the edges up, and like she pushed the clock. Like that's like how I feel at home. And then it's like exactly like you're saying when you're traveling. It's like you got to put your head down and you got to do the work.
Yeah, but I think that's why it's so important to have a place that like your living environment is so important, because you have to have that switch. Like for me, when I was living in LA, because home was the stress, it was like everything was just in the same place and there was no off switch. So like I didn't have that place where I could go home and like have the long routine and just like have that place where I could unwind.
Tell me,
it was just go.
Like really from a micro perspective, what the difference between you living in LA. Talk to us about what that looked like as from a routine perspective to the difference to where you are now, because I think the evolution of that is inspiring to someone who's listening that doesn't know where to start.
Yeah, well, when I lived in LA, I didn't have as much time. And we just talked about this when you were on my podcast. I think time is your greatest asset, right? Like I'm sitting in traffic longer. It's just taking me longer to get from place to place. I was spending a lot more energy on other people. And when you're in a place that feels like home and you have a sanctuary, like you have more time to reflect. You have more time to figure out what's working and what's not. And so when I'm at home, I feel safe and I feel like my nervous system is just more regulated. Like when I was living in LA, I was in a constant state of fight or flight. And I talked about this the first time I was on your podcast. This is when I got really ill. Like stress can affect your health in ways, especially women, that we don't realize. And my body was just giving me so many signs that I needed to slow down. But obviously I didn't until like I didn't have an option. So yeah, my routine looked so different when I was here. Like I didn't even have one because I didn't have the time to really implement one.
When you say you didn't have one, is this looking like you are staying up until 10 p.m.?
Oh my God, later. I wasn't going to sleep until like 3 a.m. most nights. I was eating breakfast at a different time every day, sometimes skipping lunch. Like my mind was not even focused on me. And similar to you, like you have to have that era where you're saying yes to everything and you're networking and you're putting yourself out there. Like I think you have to go through that, but there has to be a moment where you put yourself first and where you like give yourself that space to like show yourself love and like have that 10 minutes in the morning, whatever that looks like. I was rolling out of bed. I was having a coffee right away. I was having like a smoothie after that, which was spiking my insulin. And then I was like doing my emails. I mean, I was just doing everything wrong. Everything wrong.
And what does your life look like today? Like we obviously see it on TikTok and Instagram, but what does it really look like from a level that maybe we don't see?
Yeah, I mean, so I love to wake up and do my routine, right? I know you love oral care as much as I do.
Give us
so
every little I'm gonna
give you, I know you love your details.
Hair speck of your routine.
I know you love it. Okay, so I'm waking up and I'm tongue scraping because digestion starts in the mouth. And if you are not taking care of your oral health, like it's so connected to your gut health. And so I think that's the first place that a lot of people need to start. So tongue scraping, flossing, brushing my teeth, oil pulling. You like oil pulling?
I do like oil pulling. That's something that I wish I could do more of, but
sometimes it's like you don't have the fullest, but you're supposed to do it for like 10 to 15 minutes for it to be effective.
I love oil pulling. I love it. I think it's great.
But it doesn't happen every single morning. But
that's a great product for you to launch. Some oil.
Oh, that would be good. Yeah. I know you have your coconut oil lube, so you just you have the coconut oil, but it's just for different purposes.
Yes, I use my coconut oil lube so I don't get UTIs. Go ahead.
Exactly. And then I'll do a little bit of skincare, and I'm somebody who like I don't want 100 skincare products. I went through the phase where I was like scrolling on TikTok and talking to friends and being like, oh, what do I need? I'm like, less is more for me. I want a good sunscreen, so I'll put that on. I'll do lymphatic drainage. I'll use your ice roller.
You use a lot of Primally Pure, right?
Love Primally Pure. It's amazing ingredients. I think if you're somebody that's trying to make swaps, like the products that you're, ingesting and putting onto your skin and that you have in your space are important to know what you're using. So Primally Pure is incredible. And then, I'll do facial manipulation and massage my face. And then, I'll head into my kitchen and I'll have my bone broth. And I like to get sunlight right away too. So I'll just make my bone broth. And what I've been loving lately, if you're new to bone broth, do you drink it in the mornings?
I just already copied you. Go on. I already know what you're going to say.
Okay.
Go on.
Okay. So you can do, if you don't like the taste, you can do a chocolate bone broth latte. And this is if my people are trying to reduce caffeine, because like I said in the past, I was like waking up and having all this coffee. If you want to make that transition, you have to try this. It's the Paleo Valley chocolate bone broth.
I ordered it this morning. I saw it on your Instagram. And I was like, I'm
telling you, it's like a chocolate mixed with chai latte. It's so good. It like hits the spot first thing in the morning. So I've been making that lately, and I'll do it with like cashew milk and I'll froth it up on the stovetop. I'll put cinnamon in there. It's creamy, it's smooth, it's chocolatey, it's delicious.
Do I have to heat it up if I'm traveling? Because I got it to my hotel.
No, you can put it in a smoothie. You can literally put it in anything.
I love Paleo Valley. I love their products.
Yeah, her story is incredible too.
Yeah, incredible story. And she, the protein or the bone broth that you have has a lot of protein in it, which is amazing.
So you're having protein first thing in the morning, which is huge because that was one of the biggest changes that I made that really impacted my hormone health. So I'll have my bone broth latte. I love getting sunlight in my eyes. I think that's, one of the biggest changes about moving to a incredible, like being in a good living environment with the sunshine, being in Florida. That's had a big impact on my mood that a lot of people don't realize. So I'll go and get some sunshine, do a little bit of stretching, and then I'm making breakfast. And like I said, my breakfast looks different every single morning, but I'll do like chicken sausage, I'll do quinoa, I'll do frozen veggies. It's super simple. It's like pre-cooked meat. The veggies are already ready to go. My quinoa is already cooked. It takes me like 10 minutes. I'll add avocado, some nuts on there for a little crunch, and I'll have my breakfast, and then I'll get started with work.
Now, here's a question that I always wonder when I see you in your kitchen doing your morning like food.
Yeah.
Are you filming that when you're actually making it, or is this batched content? Like, how do you think about you actually making it and eating it, and then you actually creating content?
I love this question. Pia just asked me this, and she was like the first person to bring it up. So I'm making everything and eating it in real time. So like I'm not gonna batch because like I feel like my content, and when I get excited about a recipe, if I'm gonna film it, like I'm too excited. I want to eat it right away, you know? So I'll wake up and I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna plan out my meals. And then if I'm gonna be cooking it anyway, it's like, why not just film it and share it with everybody?
So it's not like you have a day where you just shoot a bunch of content. You're actually like waking up and we're seeing you make your breakfast.
Exactly. Yeah. And I wish I was better. Yes, there's like an off video if I'm traveling, that I'll batch or whatever. But 9 times out of 10, you're seeing me do it like right in the moment.
I like that though. It feels like we're in the kitchen with you making what you're making.
Yeah. And sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. Or like, I don't want to be on camera right now. But I'm like, you know what? Like the other night I was doing a beef bowl. I love my beef bowls. I'm like, I just started my period. I'm like so tired. And I'm like, actually, this is good because a lot of people that, you know, are in that place, like that's exactly how they feel. So it's like, I'm exhausted, but like, here's how I put together a quick meal. Let's freaking go.
I think that it's real too. It's just like sometimes we don't want to be on film and sometimes we are exhausted. And I think just putting it out there like that feels authentic.
Yeah. And you have to get past that. I'm like, you need to just hop on and do your thing. So that's something I've gotten better about over time, is just like hopping on real time, you know, making my food. And
what does wellness look like stringed through your day? And I'm not talking about your nighttime routine yet. What is it like? What are the moments that we're maybe not seeing on social media where you implement little things for yourself?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that I've noticed and one of the most useful tools is like now I know how to pay attention to my stress. And that's not something you see, right? It's like a feeling. And I know that you know this. It's like, I know now, like when my shoulders get tense and my breath gets shorter, I'm like, okay, I need to like pause what I'm doing and like take a moment and just do some deep belly breaths. Or, you know, the way that I look at a certain situation or handle a moment, I'm like, I can reflect and I know immediately what tool I need to put into place. And that comes from making so many mistakes. But I think the biggest thing is just knowing how to manage my stress throughout the day. And like I said, breath work is the best thing. People, it's so simple. And I think a lot of people are like, oh, there's no way that taking a deep breath is going to like change anything for me right now. But if you can pause and take 4 deep belly breaths, your body has no other option but to calm down, even if it's just a little bit, you know?
That's so weird that you say that. Ariel's here with me and we just had Dr. Andy Gelfin on the podcast and he told me that after I do anything that's high cortisol, like even this would be considered high cortisol because of the lights.
Yeah, you're performing, you're talking. Yeah.
He said, I need to go take 5 minutes and I need to downgrade my nervous system.
Yes.
And then I was like, oh, I do Wim Hof all the time. And he's like, no, that's the opposite of what you need.
The intense breath work is a little bit different.
That's hyperventilating, Lauren. He said, you're making it worse.
Like spiking your stress.
So I think that is really good advice, is to find pockets throughout your day that you can just take a couple breaths, which sounds, people are like, what do you mean? Like we're breathing all the time, but it's like intentional breathing.
It's intentional breathing. But like, that's the biggest thing. Cause when I, you know, hadn't been diagnosed with PCOS yet and I had all the stress in my life, like I couldn't clock the stress because I was just stressed 24/7. But for me now, like I know if I'm like hopping on a call or I'm recording or I'm filming, like I know now when I feel tense and like when I need to take that beat, even if it's just 2 minutes. I think being able to identify that and give yourself that time, it helps so much. So that's one of the things that I'm doing on a daily basis, is managing my stress throughout the day.
I think that's really good advice.
Yeah.
Are there any other little things that you do throughout your day that you think make a big difference? This could include putting something in your water.
Yes. So this is exactly what I'm going to say, because being able to stay hydrated and do it throughout the day, like if you're busy, you forget to hydrate as you take a sip. So one of the things that I love to do is, you just sex it up, put fun ice cubes in there, whether it's like an ice cube with a cucumber or a lemon, chlorophyll drops. I love adding colostrum into my water. I mean, there's so many things that you can add to like remind your body to drink water, because a lot of people, like I said, just forget. Get a cute jug where it stays cold. I love the BrewMate cups.
I don't know what you're talking about. You have to send us the link.
Yes, they're great. It's just like I was never a cup person until I started getting their cups, and it's like the way, this sounds so weird, the way the straw feels in your mouth, the way the weight feels in your hand. It's like your ice roller. It's like the weight of it is just nice, and the straw is great. So like find a cup that you love, that helps you stay hydrated throughout the day. And yeah, that's another thing that I'm doing all day long is just like putting little things into my water.
What does your work day look like to take you into night? So are you on conference calls? Are you mixing it up every day? What's like a day in the life of you? And you could even walk us through Monday through Friday if you theme days.
Yeah, I don't necessarily theme days. I need to go and listen to your podcast on how you like plan out your weekend and batch everything.
That might not work for, I think the way you do it might be the thing that works for you. Everyone's different.
Yeah. So after I wake up, I'm usually, I film right away. So I like to get that done because I like to just be able to edit and like kind of clock out. And then after that, I'm doing like more creative things. So whether it's planning content or researching a guest for the podcast, I focus on more like creative things in the afternoon. And then I have to be done like at a certain point because like I said, I don't like to be stressed at night. I don't want to be working too late. And so I try to sign off by like, I don't know, 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
Yeah.
And what happens at 5 o'clock?
So after that, it's like low light immediately. I like yell. I don't yell, but I talk to my boyfriend. I'm like, okay, no overhead lights. Like
I can't.
The lights need to go off.
You and I feel like have like sensory.
Yeah, it's like sensory overload.
It's maybe, I think it's called like a high sensitive person.
I have that. It's like too many sounds at once and too much light is like, I need low volume. And I need low light and I just need like calm.
My favorite thing to do when Michael walks in and flicks every light on in the house because his parents never gave him a dimmer is he's talking and I'll be like, why are you screaming? Even though he's not
do that
screaming.
and I feel so bad. But I only do it to like my family. I'm like, can you like lower the volume for me?
I'm like, why are you? I go like this, like a scared cat. I'm like, why are you screaming? And then Zaza will be like, I'm going to have Zaza say, Dad, turn the lights off. My eyes are blue.
She's
every morning.
We
wake up and we go, our eyes are blue. Turn the lights down.
That's hilarious. I love that. She's going to be just like you. Oh my God. Yes.
Like atrocious. Like how could you even think to have put the lights on in the morning when we can go outside and get it? Okay, so 5 o'clock, the lights go down. Go ahead.
Yeah, the lights go down. I've been walking a lot in the evenings. I actually have a treadmill on my balcony. And so I'll have dinner and then I like to walk after I eat because it helps with digestion. If you have gas or whatever, like it's going to help with that. I think walking is so great. So if you obviously want to do it in the morning and that's your thing, go and do that. But it's a great digestion hack. So I'll get a little walk on. And then, if I'm having like a full romantic evening routine, I'll do like a little bit of red light therapy. I'll hop in the sauna. I think heat before bed is incredible. I fall asleep quicker and I stay asleep throughout the night with a sauna session. And I'll use that time again to just like reflect on the day. What could I have done better? What did I get done today? Be honest with myself and check in. And then come inside and I'll do some type of like evening beverage. I love drinking magnesium before bed because I just think that's like the one supplement when I look back at my journey and I think about my stress and I think about my sleep. I've like had the biggest impact on so many aspects of my health. So I'll make like a little magnesium mocktail. And then after that, I think it's really great to have like a signature scent before bed. And we talked about this earlier. So whether it's a diffuser, whether it's an essential oil or a candle that you light to like signal to your brain, it's time to rest. So I love having a signature scent and it's I like the Osea Vegas nerve oil, Vegas nerve oil.
I have to try that.
It's so good.
Talk about that.
And I know you like your scented neck pillow or whatever.
My grandma antique neck pillow.
Yes. And then what I just started doing lately at night that has been like so great. I brought one for you. I got this like hyaluronic acid face mask and I sleep with it.
Ooh, that sounds
And
so
your
nice.
skin looks so freaking good in the morning. Like it is crazy. I've never used a mask that's like so transformative after one use. It's crazy. So I've been putting that on. I like to mouth tape too. And then it's lights out. So
we need to know the brand of the mask. They're gonna ask.
It's it's in my bag right now.
She has to grab it. We're gonna put it in the show notes for you guys.
I just got mine on Amazon, Biodance, Biocollagen Real Deep Mask.
You know why I also like that too? Sometimes you're a little lazy to do the skincare routine, and like that's just a way to kind of reap the benefits while you sleep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that I can like wake up, and this is just as of recent, but like waking up and peeling off your face, and then you just, when you look in the mirror in the morning and you already feel like your skin is glowy, it's just like all this just sets the tone.
It's just like a nice plump glassy.
Yes.
I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it tonight.
Yeah, but I'm a big fan of winding down because you have to lower your stress. You have to get good sleep. Sleep is the one thing that affects so many different aspects of your health. So
it's the most important thing. Like you said on your podcast, we just had Matthew Walker on, and he's all about like his book. I think it's called like Why We Sleep.
Yes.
And he said in all the studies, it's the most important thing. And I feel like we've used not sleeping as almost like a badge.
Yes, I want to talk about this because I just had this conversation with a friend, and he's also a sleep expert, and he's like, I talk to all of these very like successful business owners and people that are, doing all these great things, and it's like, oh yeah, I'll sleep when I'm dead, I'm hustling, and he goes, I actually have less respect for the people that disregard their sleep. Like, if you're going to brag and use it as a badge of honor that you only got 3 hours of sleep, I'm sorry. Like, how can you not put more time and energy into the one thing that's going to make you perform better? And like, that's so true, right?
He's so right. He's so right. The sleep is like actually beauty sleep too. I sleep 9 hours a night. I don't fuck around with sleep.
I love that for you.
I love sleep.
I'm the same way. I have to. I'm a grouch in the morning. If I don't, I can't think right. It's like my brain totally operates differently if I'm not getting good sleep.
I recently read that the most important supplement for women to take is magnesium.
Yes.
And you have a little announcement to make, and I'll let you make it.
You guys, I'm so excited. So with magnesium being one of the most transformative supplements throughout my healing journey, I wanted to find a way to ritualize sleep and make it fun because, like I said, I don't think enough of us prioritize it. So magnesium was that supplement for me that I knew I wanted to bring to the forefront and remind people like how important it is to get good sleep and wake up not feeling groggy. That's the great thing about Nite Nectar is that we have magnesium, L-theanine, and tart cherry powder. So what this does is it helps you get the best rest. It's so fun because you can put it into like a prebiotic soda and make a little mocktail. You can put it into water. But the thing about tart cherry juice, because I loved making mocktails with magnesium and tart cherry juice, but it does have a lot of sugar. And it's kind of a lot of effort to go and buy the tart cherry juice. And then you have to get the magnesium. It's like, it's kind of a lot of moving parts. Yeah. And so I was drinking it and I was like, wow, this is so effective, but I want to have it when I travel because we just talked about like, I have to have my routine when I'm traveling. And if you're going to be performing and all this stuff, like you have to get good sleep. So I'm like, what if I put all of these components into one packet so that it's more accessible for everybody, it's more cost effective, and you can take it on the go. Like if you're in college, you can literally toss it in a water bottle, shake it up. Like you don't have to put it in a fancy cup, but if you're the person that wants to romanticize your evening routine, you can do the whole evening mocktail situation. I just think it's so accessible, and I think it's one of those things that is going to be a great product for everybody to work into their night routine.
I am so excited to try it. I've seen how hard you worked on this, and I think that what you're essentially doing is you're selling time.
Yes.
Because you're right. I didn't do the tart cherry situation that you're talking about because to go and get it was too many moving parts.
It's kind of a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. And now that I have this, I can literally just put it in my cup, put some water in it, and it's done, which is so nice. And you told me off air that the tart cherry is just like, it's the most purest.
Yes. Yeah. I love tart cherry juice because it's a natural source of melatonin and tryptophan. And so I loved the benefits that I felt, but like, with somebody who had insulin resistance and struggled with PCOS, I think having that sugar before bed isn't always great for sleep, and it's not great for insulin resistance. So I think being able to have the benefits in there and not have the sugar is great.
It's genius. I want to know what you do with your weightlifting. You just talked about insulin resistance. I think weightlifting for me it's fixed my insulin resistance, which is so weird, but it has. Have you found that as well with strength training?
Yeah, for me, it changes your entire body composition. And I think so many women look at weightlifting and you think, oh my gosh, you think about like swinging a kettlebell around and lifting 200 pounds. Like, it doesn't have to be this thing that's so intense and so hard. Like, I grab my 10-pound dumbbells or my 15-pound dumbbells, and I'm outside on my balcony doing like an at-home arm workout, and it's so effective. But yeah, the biggest thing for me is like, it made me feel so much stronger. I felt like I had more energy throughout the day with weightlifting, and it transforms your body in a way that no other form of training does, in my opinion.
Agreed. Couldn't agree more. And I think the reason is that I won't shut the fuck up about it is because I think that if a lot of women who are listening to this and feeling stuck in their fitness routine just implemented twice a week, it has the power to transform your life.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be like, some people prefer to have a split, like, oh, on Monday I'm working arms and Tuesday I'm doing glutes, and like, that's great. But you can also do, like, if you only have 20 minutes, I love grabbing my dumbbells and I'll do like dynamic workouts. So it's like, I'm doing a bent over row to an upright row, you know what I mean? Or an RDL to an upright row, or I'm doing a reverse lunge to a curl, and I'm working my entire body. So when I have less time, I'm doing like these dynamic movements that are working every single muscle. But I think weightlifting is great for longevity. It's great for our bone density. It feels amazing to be able to lift weights and to feel strong. And yeah, I think it's something that everybody can benefit from. But yeah, last night when I was, at my hotel, I got in a quick full body dumbbell workout.
It doesn't have to be so overwhelming. And I think that this is like very weird, even the way you feel in jeans feels different.
Yes.
Because like when I was in my early 20s, if I wanted to like tighten up for a trip, I would think, oh, like I just need to eat a little bit less and go to Pilates. And I've realized that like as I've gotten older, that's not really at all the way that I should have gone about it. I should have been lifting weights and eating more protein.
Yes, lifting weights, eating protein, incline walking outside, being in the sun, breathing the fresh air. Like, I think, and we've said this, like, it's so simple. Just choose to focus on those things and be consistent with it. But yeah, weightlifting totally transformed my body, and it's something that I do like at least 5 times a week. So
you do weightlifting 5 times a week. On the other 2 days, are you doing anything? Because you know that this audience likes
yes. So I'm just going for walks, and then there's a Pilates studio that I love to go to, so I'll do a little bit of that. But yeah, on days that I'm not weightlifting, it's just walk and talk. I'll be on a phone call and go walk, or I'm listening to a podcast and walking. Like, I love to get work done because I always end up walking longer.
Yeah.
And I don't know, when I go on my walks, I walk kind of like by the ocean. Just like, I'm clearing my mind. I'm almost like really creative. So I'm like, if an idea comes to mind, or if I am researching a guest, I'm listening to their podcast and taking notes. Like, I always multitask when I'm walking, and then I always notice that I end up like extending the walk.
That's smart. I love it.
Summertime is here. The sun is hotter than ever. Skin is burning more and more frequently, which is why we're such big fans of Sunbum's Kids Sunscreen. Sunbum's Kids Sunscreen line is made to keep up with our most adventurous kids. We are pushing for kids to get away from their screens and outside this summer, because outside is in. The line comes in spray, lotion, and stick formats. Each product is SPF 50, has a clear formula, and are water resistant, meaning they can be applied on both wet and dry skin. It is so important to protect the young one's skin. Lauren and I want our kids outside consistently, playing in nature, getting their sunlight, but we want them to do it safely. We don't want that precious skin to burn, which again is why we love Sunbum's Kids Sunscreen so much. This line is vegan, it's cruelty-free, paraben-free, and Hawaii Reef 101 Act compliant, made without oxybenzone and octinoxate. Again, outside is in, and we've got the kids covered. Lauren and I have been using Sunbum for ourselves for so long, and now with their Sunbum's Kids Sunscreen line, we can use it for the kids as well. So for the parents out there that want to keep their kids safe in the sun this summer, not burning, check out Sunbum's Kids Sunscreen. Of course, we have an offer for you. Use one-time code SKINNY at checkout for 15% off your purchase at www.sunbum.com. This offer ends December 31st, 2024. Again, go to www.sunbum.com and use code SKINNY one time at checkout for 15% off your purchase.
You have a new boyfriend. We've seen him on social media. We see you guys cold plunging together. Yes. I had the pleasure of meeting him at Dear Media in real life. He's adorable. How are you guys thinking about putting your relationship on social media? Like, is there a strategy? I know Michael and I are really thoughtful about the way we show up on social media, but also like our kids. Like we have conversation around that. Is this something that you guys have strategy around, or is it just like when you want to film content, you film content?
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say that we have strategy in place. I think because we happen to enjoy the same things and we have such a similar lifestyle, like it happens so seamlessly. So
You
it's
can
like,
feel that.
yeah, so it's like, hey, I'm working out tonight on the balcony. Are you going to work out? Oh, why don't we just like film a set and then we'll do a quick video together? Like it's not always super planned out. But then if we have, for example, like a partnership or a brand deal, like, yeah, there's going to be more thought that goes into it. But it's been so fun. And I know that you can relate to this. Like working with your partner can kind of go one of two ways. Like it can bring you closer and you can have a stronger bond, or it can be something where you have conflicting ideas and then it starts an argument. But like it's actually brought us so much closer together because we can bounce ideas off of each other. Like if he has an idea, he'll be like, what do you think about this? And like we're both so brutally honest with each other. We're like, yeah, that's awesome. We're like, no, you should do it like this. And like it's so funny because he knows my angles and I know his. He's like, all right, get on my good side. I'm like, okay, you get over here. Like we are so straight with each other. So it's been really fun. But yeah, I think because our content is so similar, it's one of those things that's just so seamless. Or if I'm going to make him dinner, it's like, okay, I'll go ahead and film it. Do you want to jump in? Yeah. So
you guys seem to me really to be in sync.
Yes. You know, one of the most attractive things about him is that even just through social media, like when I first saw social media before I met him, I could tell that he was somebody that had so much joy in his life.
I see that.
And like loved life. Like that is such an attractive quality to me. Like you could just tell he was so content with what he was doing and that he was an independent person. And, you know, I obviously liked that he was taking care of his body and also enjoyed wellness, but I noticed that he just had that little spark of joy in his eye. And I was like, oh, wow, I'm really attracted to that. And so I think because we both met at a time in our life where like, I had just moved to St. Pete. I was perfectly content doing my own thing. I'm making new friends, kind of establishing like a new life in a way, but also where I'm just like, oh, like I feel like I'm in a rhythm with like who I am and, you know, who I'm becoming. He was also in that place. So it was just the perfect time for both of us to meet. And I know that people always say like, oh, like when you know, or it's definitely meant to be, but it was like the timing couldn't have been more perfect. But
it's funny. There's like this saying, I don't remember where it's from, where it says, you know, so many of these people have like all these lists of things that they want from a person. And to attract that person, you have to be those qualities.
Yes. And you know what, people, you're right. Yeah. It's like, oh, I want this, I want that, I want that. And it's like,
you want joy, but then if you're not joyful, you can't attract joy.
You have to embody the things that you want.
Yes.
Because when you embody those things, like you said, you start to attract them. And that's with everything in life. It's not even with a partner. It's like with the job you want or the friendship that you want. And I think if you're not walking the walk, how would you ever expect those things to come to you? They're not going to.
And I think too, even like going like a step above is like not just being them, but actually your thoughts. So if you're someone who wants a joyful person and you try to be joyful, but you don't have joyful thoughts, I still don't think that's like enough. Like you have to really monitor the way you're thinking, because if you change your thinking, you could change your life.
I could not agree more. Yeah. So much of, you know, my healing journey was that mindset shift. And I remember when I was just like telling myself like, oh my God, these changes are going to be so hard and this is overwhelming. Like you also get to choose your heart. You get to choose the way that you think and you get to choose your heart, because being miserable is also really hard. You know
really
what I mean?
Hard. And being comfortable is also really hard in the long, you choose your heart.
You get to choose it. So for me, just like you said, that mindset shift and the way that you speak to yourself and the things that you say that you want, you have to become those things and you have to believe it. Like you can't just sit there and be like, oh, you know, this is what I want. Da, da, da. You have to embody it. You have to believe it and you have to just do it.
And my favorite is like when someone has such high expectations and like a list that is so wild, but yet they don't have the same expectation for themselves.
Yes.
It's like wild. I have a friend that is love him to death. It's like the list is like, you've never seen anything like it. And I'm like, I said to him, and because we have a very like real relationship, I said, well, are you all these things? And he, and like, it's a good way to, and listen, like, I'm not saying I'm perfect. There's been times in my past before Michael where the same thing. It's like, if you want all these things, but you're not holding your own self accountable, it's mismatched.
It's so contradictory, right? Yeah, it's so true.
And tell us really quick where you guys met.
Okay, this is a funny story. So I had made a few TikToks about moving to St. Pete and a few TikToks about dating. It was just like, I was fresh into dating, so I was sharing like my little hot tips. And somebody had commented like, oh my gosh, you have to meet at Joey Muccio. Like, you guys would be perfect together. And it's just so funny how much your community like knows you. You know what I mean? So they were trying to play matchmaker.
Cute.
In the comments, and I clicked on his page, and exactly what I just told you. Obviously, he's so cute. And so I was like, okay, I love that he's handsome. That's nice. But then when I saw how much joy he had in his eyes and got a glimpse of his personality, I was just like, okay, yeah, I think maybe there could be like something there, even if it's just a friendship. So yes, I DM'd him. That's his favorite part of the story. And then we went on a walk, and then we walked like 6 or 7 miles. It was crazy. And then to this day, he has not walked. Like, I'm like, okay, wow, you really were putting on a show, because you won't even go on a mile walk with me now. He doesn't like to walk.
Joey,
I know.
Wait, you have to take that comment. Can you find the comment?
We did. So when we moved in together, we did our video of moving in together as a response to the comment, because we met on TikTok, and now it's kind of like a full circle moment. So.
I think you need to send her some Nite Nectar.
I know. I have to send her some Nite Nectar. But it was so funny because after that first date, we had kind of talked about like red light therapy and our like wellness habits and stuff. And then I was like, oh, we'll do it together sometime. We'll sauna, whatever. He's like, okay, can we do that tomorrow? My wrinkles can't wait. And I just thought that was so cute. I was like, yes, we can do it tomorrow. So then that was it. We hung out almost every day after that, and yeah, started dating right away.
You guys are absolutely adorable.
Yeah, we need to send Molly some Nite Nectar.
I would be crazy not to talk about beauty on this episode.
Yes.
What are the makeup, the skin? I mean, you told us skin with Primally Pure,
yes.
But any like the deodorants you're using, are you tanning? Like, give us like a little bit of like Gracie's beauty basket.
Yes. Okay. So for makeup, I love Say Beauty. And I know that you like also like a light foundation, because when you work so hard on your skin, for me, like I don't want something that feels so heavy and so cakey.
It's also aging.
Yes. So I love Say, I think it's like Skin Tint or Say Slip Tint. Yeah.
Okay.
That's really great. It doesn't even look like foundation. It's completely weightless. It's great in the summer. So I always put that on my face. I love Kosas SPF. Goes on great. Easy to, blend into your makeup. And then, so those are probably my two favorite clean beauty brands, Kosas and Say. And then for a tan, I love Beauty by Earth. Have you ever tried Beauty by Earth? Okay, so I am an avid self-tanner. Like I came out of the womb self-tanning. I've been doing it since 8th grade. It's kind of like an addiction. So Beauty by Earth is so good because it doesn't transfer to your sheets.
Oh,
it's a clear lotion. And if you're new, I don't know if I would recommend it, because the good thing about foam is that you can kind of see where it goes, but it doesn't have as strong of a scent as other self-tanners.
Oh, the scent is so bad.
It goes on clear. It doesn't transfer to your clothes. So if you're wearing white, like you're not going to get the orange like armpit stains, which I've gotten so many times. So I love that self-tanner. And then if I need like a tan very quick, I'll do like a Petitjane or Saint Tropez. Like I have different tanning products for different needs, but Beauty by Earth is a really great one because it's got good ingredients. And then skincare, I love Dr. Dennis Gross. Vitamin C has like been one of the best products for my face. So I'll use his, I love just like all things Dr. Dennis Gross. And then, we mentioned this, but Primally Pure, the face oil. She's got a great cleansing oil. There's a plumping mist that I love. It's just one of those places that like I know when I'm shopping on their website that I don't have to worry about ingredients.
A great brand.
Yeah. And I'll be the first person to say too, when it comes to like swapping your beauty routine and like making these cleaner picks, like you don't have to be so like aggressive about it. Like I still have products in my makeup bag that aren't the cleanest, because I'm somebody who like, I'm not going to make the swap until I really love the product and it works.
I totally agree with you.
You know?
Like my Rare Beauty mascara, I don't know that I could make a swap for
Yeah,
that.
it's like, and I think that's important. Like, don't stress yourself out to change absolutely everything. I think the awareness, and this goes with every, you know, thing that you're changing in your journey or of your routine. It's just like being aware and making a change based out of that in education versus fear. It's so different. It's like you have more joy in it. Yeah. You're going to maintain it.
Yes.
You're going to feel good making the decision. So yeah, when I'm thinking about like buying beauty products and skincare and all that good stuff, I'm like, what works? What do I like? Does it have great ingredients? And then yeah, if I'm not ready to make a swap, I'm not going to make it.
I don't blame you. I will tell you that plumping mist that you just mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys want to take your mouth tape off in the morning, I spray that on my face and it just removes it in one thing. Like it's not,
my gosh.
It's really good for removal.
Yes.
And Primally Pure has, her husband does Primally Pasture, and they have some of the best organic raw honey I've ever had.
I haven't tried their honey. I need to try it.
Bethany has to send you. Bethany, she needs the honey. It's that honey. I've been using it every morning. Is so good. And that's what I put on the bowl of meat.
Okay.
The raw cheese with their honey.
Okay, I have to try that.
It's
You know what?
so good.
You know what she did send me though, which was so random and so hilarious, was a coffee enema kit.
Oh my God, I haven't tried that. Did you try it?
I'm too scared. I haven't tried it yet. No.
If you try it, you could come give me one. I don't think I'm not the I will say I'm not the type of person.
It's like
I feel like I need someone else to do that for me.
No, I think
I listen. I want to do it. I'll do it.
she was explaining the benefits, and I'm like, this sounds great, but
you do
in
it
the
first
same
and then
thing,
text
I'm
me.
like, I just don't know if I can do it.
I can have someone else do it. I cannot do that to myself.
'Cause
I cannot
mean,
stick the thing up my ass.
I mean,
to be honest,
it's like the tube up
I've
your
got
butt.
so many routines, and now you want me to
Adding
stick something
another-
up my ass with coffee. It just feels like a lot.
It feels like a lot. And she was talking about the energy, and I'm like, that's great, but like it's going straight into your system. I'm like, of course there's an energy boost,
If
you know?
Michael
like,
walks in and I'm on the floor with a fucking cord up my ass with coffee, I think that he may divorce. I feel like I've jumped the shark. Bethany, you can come to my house anytime and you can do it for me.
Yes.
I'll do that while I'm on a conference call.
the way that it was explained
Detach and dissociate.
was so graceful though. She's like, I sage the room and then I lay down the towel, and I'm like, she makes it sound so beautiful, and I can just imagine myself in the scenario, and it's not beautiful. So I just like don't know.
And you know
I'll ever
what?
get there.
To the person on your podcast, I was just on your podcast, who
Yes.
told you that you're not going to have a routine and say goodbye to your routine when you have kids. Bethany fucking stages the room and does coffee up her ass. So it is
If
possible.
that's not inspirational, I don't know what is.
You can be a mother and you can have a routine. Stop with this narrative. I can't with the narrative of say goodbye to your routine when you're a mother. And listen, I have help. We talked about this on your podcast,
Mhm.
but there's also people who don't have a ton of help that they make it work. They wake up a little earlier. They put the kids to bed, maybe with a little melatonin or some tart cherry.
Yeah, magnesium and tart
Nighty
cherry.
night early, and they go do their coffee enema. So you can make it happen. Anything is possible.
Anything is possible.
Gracie Norton, where can everyone find you? Pimp your products out. Tell us where they can listen to your new podcast.
Yay. Okay. So you can find me on TikTok and Instagram at Gracie_Norton. I have a YouTube launching soon where I'm going to be sharing in-depth routines and all that great stuff. So you can follow me on YouTube as well. In addition to that, I have a cookbook with all of my favorite recipes. It's called Cooking Up Wellness, and you can just find that on my Instagram profile. So if you're new to eating healthy and you want to simplify your meals, definitely go look at that. It's a PDF. You download it right to your phone.
And I do have to say that I have your cookbook, and one of my kids' favorite recipes is it's like a peanut butter chocolate cup.
Oh my gosh, yes. These are so good
They're
because
so good.
Reese's are like, I mean, they're packed with sugar, but this is so easy to make, and I think it tastes just as good as a Reese's.
It's
You get,
like better.
If you get Hue chocolate, you get the little muffin tins, and you put the liner in the tin. You do a layer of chocolate, granola butter, a banana, and a layer of chocolate on top. It's like the creamiest Reese's you'll ever have.
Is it
It's so
Reese's
good.
or Reese's?
Oh gosh, this is a,
Wait,
this is a debate.
I think it's Reese's, but I
it's
say
Reese's.
everything
I say
wrong.
Reese's. I say
Wait,
it wrong
hold on.
too.
This is the first thing in the world that I've said right. I was like, I'm pronouncing that
No.
wrong too. Fuck.
Okay, a chocolate butter cup, whatever you want to call it.
Okay, it's
And then-
Reese's though, right?
I think you're right.
Okay, I
I'm
just want to
definitely-
know.
I'm
'cause
definitely
listen,
butchering
I say
that.
everything wrong. So tell us about your product, where to find it, where to shop it,
Yes.
and then let's do a giveaway. What do you want to give away?
let's give away some Nite Nectar.
Okay.
I would love to do that.
How many boxes?
Let's give away 10. We'll do
10 boxes of Gracie's new product, Nite Nectar. I am drinking it. It's on my bedstand. All you have to do is follow at Gracie_Norton on Instagram and at Lauryn Bosstick and tell us your favorite takeaway from this episode on my latest Instagram post. I personally love having Gracie on for multiple reasons. I just think she's a plethora of knowledge when it comes to beauty, health, wellness, diet. And I think she's transformed and evolved her life. And it's so cool to see. Where can we shop your product?
It's always an honor to come on. So thank you so much for having me back. I feel like so much has happened since last time that we chatted. So it's so fun to
I
like
loved
have.
that episode too, though. Everyone should go listen to you on that
Yes,
episode.
if you
want to
know more about my journey and my PCOS diagnosis and just dive more into it. I don't know what episode number it was, but
I'll
go
leave it in the show
listen.
notes.
Yes, and I also have, that's the other thing, Wellness Her Way podcast. I go into full detail about my journey there, and I have plenty of like fun solo episodes where I just really dive into all the details. So
I bet your audience likes a lot of the solo episodes a lot from you.
yeah, the solo episodes have been so fun.
I'm not surprised about that.
And at first I was just like, it's kind of interesting because you're pretty much giving a speech, but it's been great to just like connect with them one-on-one.
Michael loves his speech. It's like his favorite moment. And then he'll like post it and he'll be like, did you listen to my episode? And I'm like, are you fucking serious? I'm around you every goddamn minute.
Oh my gosh.
Now you want me to listen to your episode?
And if you want to try my new supplement that's launching, it's called Nite Nectar.
You guys, Nite Nectar, where can they find it?
You can find it at www.goodynaturals.com. That's GOODINATURALS.com. Again, I think magnesium is such an incredible supplement. And with the tart cherry powder and the L-theanine, it's just like a match made in heaven for sleep and recovery. So
It's a perfect
very
little
excited.
nightcap.
It is.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
We'll put it in the
I'm
show
so
notes.
excited. Thank you so much for having me on.